You're working harder than ever, but falling further behind. It is not your fault. It's by design. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as it was intended. Here's the playbook they used to rig it against you. Imagine $100,000 is a single grain of rice. $1 billion is a large bag of rice. The wealth hoarded by the top 1%, a warehouse stretching into darkness. This isn't an economy. It's a transfer of wealth. So how do they do it? First, they control the narrative. 6 corporations control over 90% of the media. They craft the story that poverty is a personal failure, not a policy choice. They celebrate billionaires while ignoring the reality of stagnant wages. Second, they write the rules. For every $1 spent on lobbying by public interest groups, corporations spend $34. Groups like the Chamber of Commerce spend hundreds of millions a year to ensure laws favor them. They get tax loopholes that allow billionaires to pay a lower tax rate than you do. A ProPublica investigation found the 25 richest Americans paid a true tax rate of just 3.4% as their wealth skyrocketed. Third, they suppress your wages. Since 1980, worker productivity has soared by over 60%, but the average worker's pay has only climbed 17%. Where did the money go? CEO pay has grown by over 1,400% in the same period. This is a direct result of policies designed to crush worker power, fight unions, and keep the minimum wage unlivably low. Fourth, they divide and distract. The masterstroke. They use the media they own to make you blame your neighbor, to fight over cultural scraps. Because as long as you're looking at each other, you're not looking up at them. So what's the counterplay? It's not about blame. It's about rebalancing the system. Here are 5 critical solutions. 1. A fair tax code. This is about modernizing the rules. We can start with a wealth tax, a small 2% annual tax on fortunes over $50 million. For someone with $60 million, that's a tax on just the top $10 million. This wouldn't touch 99.9% of families, but would generate trillions. We also need to restore higher top marginal rates. For decades, the highest incomes were taxed at over 70%, and the economy boomed. This doesn't mean all income is taxed that high, only earnings above millions of dollars. Finally, we must close the loopholes. The carried interest loophole lets hedge fund managers pay a lower tax rate than firefighters. The stepped-up basis loophole allows billions in stock gains to be passed down to heirs completely tax-free. Closing these is just common sense. 2. Empower workers. For decades, policies have made it harder for workers to form unions. We can reverse that. When workers bargain collectively, they win higher wages and better benefits, which strengthens the entire economy. It also means raising the federal minimum wage to a living wage and tying it to inflation so it never falls behind again. 3. Break up monopolies. Why are there only a few choices for your internet, cell phone, or airline tickets? Decades of lax antitrust enforcement have allowed massive corporations to buy up their competition. When there's no competition, they can charge you more for worse service. We must reinvigorate our antitrust laws, like we did with Big Oil and Ma Bell in the 20th century, to break up monopolies and foster real competition. 4. Get big money out of politics. This is the choke point. Court decisions like Citizens United opened the floodgates for unlimited corporate spending in elections. We need fundamental reform like a constitutional amendment or publicly funded elections to ensure our leaders are accountable to voters, not their billionaire donors. 5. Invest in U.S. With the new revenue from a fairer tax system, we can finally make the public investments we've been told we can afford: world-class schools in every neighborhood, high-speed rail and modern infrastructure, tuition-free public college, and affordable healthcare for all. This playbook is only powerful if it stays in the shadows. Your mission is to drag it into the light. First, find the front line. Search for Get Money Out of Politics and find the organizations leading this fight. Vet them, support them. They are the tip of the spear. Second, spread the playbook. Don't just share this video. Send it to one person who needs to see it. Start the conversation. Information is contagious. They have the money, but we have the people. The playbook is out. Now it's our move. #GetMoneyOut.